Well, here's somebody we haven't spoken about in quite a bit. We got Rachel Zegler. Yes, Rachel Zegler is the upcoming Snow White actress, deciding to go on the offensive yet again. Clearly, something that Gina Carano, by the way, got fired for, and apparently it's perfectly fine when Rachel Zegler does it because she's doing the right side of politics, which, again, I want to remind everybody, I hope Gina Carano takes this moment that we're about to talk about and uses it in her case against Disney, because it's going to be a slam dunk case guaranteed against this absolute trash fire of a company. But Rachel Zegler has apparently now come out on her social medias and wishes supporters of Donald Trump to never know peace.
It's Hollywood, baby.
Now, again, ladies and gentlemen, nobody takes what this little girl says seriously, because at the end of the day, this is a spoiled brat trying to pretend to be an activist, trying to pretend like she gives a shit what happens to anybody in the country. As long as her dollars keep rolling in, she doesn't really care. But this is somebody who is not only an extreme narcissist who thinks that everybody cares about what she has to say about politics, but she decides to want to attack people when she doesn't get her way, which is very on brand for her and people like her. So let's get into this article, guys, from Phantom Pulse. But of course, before we do, if you are new here, just consider hitting that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it, and like the video to push us out into that YouTube algorithm. So it says Rachel Zegler, who will play Snow White in the upcoming Disney live-action movie, expressed her desire that supporters of Donald Trump and Donald Trump himself should never know peace. Now, keep in mind, this is somebody who had multiple assassination attempts made against him. I'm pretty sure he knows what it means to not know peace, more than somebody like you, Rachel Zegler, who is very privileged, mind you. For somebody who is a person of color who's supposed to be oppressed in this country, yeah, you're very, very much in the privileged position to know peace. But Donald Trump doesn't know peace. He never has known peace for years now, considering that he's been not only attempted to be assassinated multiple times, but they've thrown every single freaking legal case they possibly can at him to try to keep him mired in controversy and lawsuits in the hopes that he would have become president. And guess what? It all failed. In poster Instagram stories, which was shared to X by Minder de Home, shout out to Stephanie, Zegler stated the following: I find myself speechless in the midst of this. Another 4 years of hatred, leading us towards a world I do not want to live in. Well, I mean, anyway, I'm not going to go there. Leading us towards a world that will be hard to raise my daughter in. Leading us towards, she has a daughter? Oh, God, that's terrible. Leading us towards a world that will force her to have a baby she doesn't want. Leading us towards a world that is fearful. Isn't that incredible that you had a daughter? You had a baby that you clearly wanted, and now you're talking about what babies that your young daughter may or may not want in the future. How do you know she may or may not want kids in the future? How old is your daughter? I gotta imagine your daughter's not that old. So you're sitting here worried about what's gonna come out her vagina when she should be playing with toys? Like, what kind of nonsense is this? You're already thinking your daughter's going to be a whore and using abortion as a means of birth control? That's what you're thinking right now? Because let's be real, man. You guys like to use the 1% of cases when it comes to birth control and make them the reason for the 99 other percent. That's not how this shit works, but I'm not even going to bother getting into it. People get their fucking panties in a twist when you start talking about abortion. And again, anyway, she continued it. I shouldn't be shocked, but I am. No, you're not. I am heartbroken for my friends who awoke in fear this morning. But I am here with you. Sure. To cry, to yell, to hug. Yeah, and you're going to cry in your mansion? You're going to yell and hug in your mansion with your rich white daddy? Yeah, sure. To wax poetic on how the left continues to fail us in forging a new path forward. This loss should not have been, and it certainly should not have been by so many votes. Well, clearly, you guys have lost the narrative, right? You guys have lost the conversation. You push people away. You don't get destroyed like this without pushing people away. And I want someone like Rachel Zegler to genuinely understand that, and anybody else who's watching this video to also understand that. You don't get decimated like this unless you lost the narrative, okay? And it's very clear that the left has lost the narrative for a lot of people. They had almost 20 million less votes compared to 2020. Now, obviously, there's a lot of theories as to why that is with the election, the results, and everything like that, and I'll let you guys figure it out for whatever you want to believe in. But ultimately, the numbers are real, and you have 20 million less than what you did the last election, or almost 20 million. It's like 18 or something like that. But still, nobody wants to talk about that because, again, it has to bring up a lot of questions that nobody really wants to answer. But if you genuinely believe that Rachel Zegler, the actress for Snow White, is heartbroken over what's happening right now, yeah, I have a bridge to sell you. Then she says, I echo Ethel Kane's statement more than anything. May Trump supporters and Trump voters and Trump himself never know peace. Isn't that incredible? Aren't you supposed to be the tolerant left? Aren't you supposed to be the ones that want to make everything better and more peaceful and everything like that? But it seems like you only want that when you get your way. So if I find that to be very interesting, and it shows the hole in your entire ideology. It shows and it proves that you only want peace so long as it is a leftist haven. That's the only time you want peace. The moment you have to actually look at the fact that you don't live in an echo chamber, that's when you don't want peace anymore. Suddenly you want violence, and it's very on brand for you guys. In another post, Zegler wrote the following: there is also a deep, deep sickness in this country that is shown in the sheer amount of people who showed up for this man who threatens our democracy. It is terrifying the number of people who stand behind what this man preaches. It is foolish subscription to a false sense of security, of masculinity, of intelligence, of patriotism, and of humanity. Actually, it's all those things. You guys are the ones that are the false in all those things because you guys don't have any security. You fucked up on the border multiple times. You don't actually care about being hard on crime. Masculinity doesn't exist in your little circle. You guys drink too much damn soy milk to have any masculinity. And on top of that, intelligence, you guys have the fakest form of intelligence ever. You guys think because most of you have been college educated that somehow makes you smarter than everybody else, when in fact all that makes you is more indoctrinated than everybody else. And then on top of that, patriotism, yeah, you guys don't know what patriotism is. You guys hate the fucking country. You say it all the time. And of humanity, yeah, nobody cares, bro. Weaponize your empathy amongst yourselves and keep that shit to yourself. She continued, there is no help, no counsel in any of them. I could go on. I won't. I feel sad. You probably do too. Fuck this, man. The meltdown. The meltdown is incredible, and I'm here for it. And I'm sure a lot of you guys are here for it as well. But here comes the best part. She also encouraged her followers to leave X. Oh, yeah, you got to get off Elon's platform. Get off Elon's app, by the way. The fuck are you doing? They're eating you up on Twitter. I don't use that app for a reason. He helped get that man elected, and you're giving him business. I was talking about finding catharsis in art. I don't care if you're going to pick a fight with me. It's been done before. Find something real to be mad at today. There's plenty to go around. These people want you to get off X and go on Blue Sky so bad, but at the end of the day, the only reason why Blue Sky exists is because these people are desperate for echo chambers. They revel in echo chambers. They really want to make it seem as if the world that they're in all agrees with them. They can't stand the fact that X has been opened up to everybody. X is not out here banning leftist accounts. X is not out here banning anybody who doesn't agree with Republicans. That's not what's happening here. If anything, there is still a lot of protections for a lot of hardcore lefties, you know, on X. So there's nothing happening that will make you want to run away. The only thing that's happening is open and free speech, and that is clearly enough to make somebody like Rachel Zegler and people like her leave Elon Musk's app. But let's be very clear. Twitter, or X as you want to call it, is the #1 news app in the world. Clearly, people use it and utilize it often. They love using it, both left and right. And you can go on Blue Sky all you want and pretend like the world is the way you think it is. But at the end of the day, that is not anything close to the truth. And this recent election has proved that to be true. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hope you did enjoy it. If you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it if you could like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.